So you want to make a video in Blender. Okay. You get your video data you want to use and audio data you want to use. This is my video data. Let's say, okay, so typically you want to view them both at once. If you highlight two things, you can drag them both at once. That shows up good. If it doesn't show up, you might need to, let's see here. This is hard to see, but if you want to get to the strip settings, then you can look for the source, and you want to make sure that this path is correct, because if it's not, then you'll just see the blank alpha texture. You can also see other useful things here. But let's see. So by default, go to, let's see, okay, so go to output properties. By default, the resolution doesn't match the video used as input. So you have to go here, right click by the way, set render size. And then, okay, now it matches. Now if you want to resize, the key is to not just do this. Because if you just do that, it uses nearest neighbor sampling. And that's not as good as bilinear. So what you want to do is, back to here. Oh, oops. Not percent. Okay. And as you can see, this is now better. The problem is we have all this around the outside. So to fix that, crop. And shoot, I forget what 90% of whatever, you can do the math there, but you get the idea. You just crop the edges here. You would do like, oh wait, that wasn't how it worked. Wait, how did it work? Oh wait, that's right, you did this, okay. You would change this to match the dimensions. There we go, Okay, but now this is what you want. Your range, to change that, you change the end. And to see what to change it to, you can use this to change the scroll bar width, by the way. You just click on one of the dots and move it, okay. You can click on an end of a clip to see where it ends. Doing this will stretch it. It doesn't actually change the speed, it just creates like blank space here. And if you stretch it this way, it trims it. What was it at? Control Z, what was it at? 2102, okay. Boom, now it'll render the whole thing when you do render animation. What else is necessary here? Go to output. If you don't want the audio, you can just delete it. And you know what, let's say you want new audio. Let's do, oops. Delete the video for that audio. Delete the audio for this video. Drag it to the right spot. By the way, let's say that you have multiple pieces of video you want to use. If you want to drag this one to be right after this one, you don't need to like match it up. You can just do this, and it'll like automatically snap to the next available location. Okay. Oh, oops, that was the length, not the... Okay. So now let's say that you actually want to change the speed of some things, because I think this one was recorded with 59.94. Well, it should be in time, right? Oh no, source, okay. Yeah, 59.94 FPS. Let's say that you want to do slow-mo on this. What do you do here? Let me remember. You go here and you do the approximate value of 24 over 59.94. Okay. So now this should be the right speed. It's hard to tell because it's all zoomed. Okay. Since you know how to do it, I'm gonna put it back to normal so we can actually see the effect. Okay. Now this. Okay. Make that smaller. Oh yeah, there's like some setting here where you can like. I think it's like fit. I mean, that's not really what I wanted, but there's something like that for this where it only zooms into the channels that you're using. I think it's already enabled for me. It's not really important, but okay. So now the source is 59.94, but because of the slowing down, it matches the, oh yeah. So if I want to make it 24 FPS, so all this was recorded in about 60 FPS, but if I want the final thing to be 24 FPS slow-mo footage, basically, then I can do that. And then use the speed factor here. And now this video should correctly run it 2.5 times slow motion. Yeah, I mean, it's slow motion. You can't tell, but here you should be able to tell. Okay. Yeah, so you change the frame rate here, and then you adjust the speed factor here to match. And if you don't adjust the speed factor, then it just plays the same exact video, but only pulls frames it only pulls frames from the original source video 24 times a second. So now this is just like, I don't know how to describe this, but it's like, yeah. So this is the same speed, I believe. Yeah. So this is just like real time now. Same speed, but just 24 FPS instead of 60 FPS. So, I mean, not very useful. But, yeah, to avoid that, you offset it here. And it rounds to the nearest, like, 10,000th or something. What else is there? Has this one been altered yet? No, it hasn't. And it should be about the same after you go to 24 FPS and change the speed factor. It should be about the same number of frames as before because, well, it's the same number of frames in the video, it's just slowed down. And then you can do the same thing here, but you wouldn't want to do that unless you were using the original audio from the clip. I mean, you could slow down the original audio from the clip if you wanted to, like, match. Oh, I forgot, that's not actually a thing. I don't know how to do that. Because it doesn't apply with, like, audio files for some reason. I don't think. It doesn't. Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. You do the same thing for audio. Like, if this were the audio that went with this video, then you could just put them next to each other and slow them both down by the same speed factor, and that would work. But this is, like, not that, so we don't want to do that. Let me Control-Z. And there we go. Oh yeah, output. This is like the most important part. I almost forgot about this. Okay, so I want to save to desktop just because that's what I always do. It by default it goes to PNG, but you want to do this or these. I guess I think AV-RAW doesn't do any compression, so they're like super huge files. And then this is, I don't know what that is. So you're gonna want to do this. Don't screw with that. MP4 is the most common thing across devices. This codec is the most common across devices. It lets you do lossless, but for some reason that never actually plays on my Windows laptop. So perceptually lossless is more than good enough, and medium is usually good for most applications, I guess. And this is just saying go slow, take your time, and compress it as much as you can. let's see here. Change the sampling rate. You want to change the bit rate to match the bit rate of your audio files. So go to the audio, properties, details. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe it just wasn't recorded when I recorded the video with OBS, I don't know. But these are videos from my like GoPro, whatever, DJI Osmo or whatever. But if you do the same thing here, then it tells you bitrate is 192. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was higher. Hold on. Am I tripping? Oh, because that one doesn't have audio with it. Only a few of these have audio with them. Does this one have audio? Okay, yeah, it does. So 192, I think, is the one that my camera uses. So if I were using audio from the camera, I would use 192. I think 192 is like the common one that a lot of things use. But yeah, you want this to match. I feel like before it was 312 with like the original, whatever. No point in setting it higher than your source. Wait, was that it? Was it 192? Yeah, it was 192. Okay. Keep that 100, keep this 48,000. Most things are 48,000. You can find that at the details as well. Mono, I don't know how to do stereo channels. I haven't had to yet. Okay. And now you can do this. And this controls what gets rendered. So we can just do the first 100 frames or whatever. And to make this fast for the demonstration, I'm gonna make this like super low and this super fast. Now this is the first 100 frames. Okay. And we had that going to the desktop. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. It's a little choppy. I wonder why it's choppy. I feel like that didn't happen before. Maybe it's because it's so low quality. Anyway, that's the general process. There you go. Oh yeah, and one last thing. Okay, so instead of looking at the strip details in this little tab thing, you can go to modifiers, and if you have a video selected, you can add a modifier. And here I'm going to zoom into the video here, and middle click to drag. Middle click to drag is easier than like scrolling and using bars and whatever. Middle click to drag. Okay, but that's just general Blender knowledge, I guess. What's the one that I use here? I think it's color. I think it's yeah. Wait, no. Here we go. White balance. So this is good for like scenes like this where it's kind of all one color and you want to like normalize the colors a little bit. You pick a color that you think looks like it should be white, and I guess here that's this. But you don't want to just pick an overexposed area though. You want to pick a normally exposed area that should be white. Go to the eyedropper, click it, and then boom. Now this part of the scene looks white, and the colors are normalized. Here we can see with and without the effect. No effect, effect, no effect, effect. It's a slight difference. It makes some things look better, I think. Like here, let's look at this little part. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks a little bit better, but yeah, you be the judge. But that's a really useful tool. And I mean, there's other stuff too, like there's like a contrast one that I like. No, it's this one. You can drag it like this, and I don't know, maybe that's kind of useful. Whatever. All right, there you go. Oh yeah, I forgot about audio stuff. So here's the audio stuff. let's see. You want to make sure that that is not selected if you want to change the volume of something. First of all, just to make things a little bit easier, select all the audio and click Display Waveforms. And, oh, I guess selecting all of it doesn't work. You have to do one by one maybe. Anyway, display waveforms of everything. And if you find that something is too loud, then you can change the volume here. But if there are keyframes, then you can't change the volume. Audio data you want to use. See, it doesn't change. It looks like it changes, but then you play and pause, and then it doesn't change. Trust me, it doesn't change. So you want to delete those keyframes wherever they are. I think are they down here? Oh yeah, you right click, okay. Yeah, right click over the green and clear keyframes, and boom, now you can adjust the volume of this section. Okay. So that's for the highlighted clip. And then if you want to fade in, you can right click, fade in. It shows here in the keyframes. 5 seconds, sure, whatever. And then, what do you right click here? Maybe, do you right click this? Yeah. Okay, yeah. You right click the keyframes where you fade in or out and do interpolation mode. Bezier is what I do. And you can see it there. It's kind of faint, but you can see the little fade in. And you can do the same thing with video, by the way. So I use that to fade it in between my clips. But now you can see as the video plays, let's look at the, wait. Yeah, you can see it goes from 0 at the beginning to, okay, this is really lag. Over time it goes to the max, which you determined before inserting the keyframes by doing the fade. The max of 0.8. And then fade out, fade in. I mean, yeah, you can do the same. Same thing applies with video, audio, text. You can add text by doing add text. It automatically adds to where your cursor thing is. Yeah. There we go. You can change the style. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is pretty straightforward, I think. Time in the number of frames, so this would be 2 seconds. And I think that shows up here as well. Oh, I thought it would show the number of seconds. Oh yeah, it does. 2 seconds, right there. Okay. I think that's it for this. And then fade in, sure. By the way. And if you ever want to test audio and you don't want this preview to get in the way by like then you can just do sequencer. Set render size. Then it's time because it doesn't have to render the video for you to preview it. Yeah, I think that's it.